Today we are going to travel deep into the heart of the diversity industry, using the flashpoint of the most transparent neo-imperial multinational corporation on Earth, Starbucks. First, we're going to experience the three-act Shakespearean drama of what actually happened in the latest heist by the diversity industry. And then you're going to learn the life lessons about how it all works. Buckle up, there will be turbulence on this flight.
How may I help you?
Hi, I have two gentlemen at my cafe that are refusing to make a purchase or leave. I'm at the Starbucks at 18th and Spruce.
All right, please, I'll be on as soon as possible.
Thank you. Bye.
Over the weekend, a video went viral on social media featuring two black men, unidentified black men, who got arrested at a Starbucks. This story began when the two had gone to this particular Starbucks in Philly, and they were waiting for a real estate developer in order to have this meeting about possible investment opportunities. Now, the two had not purchased anything at the Starbucks. They were still waiting for the real estate developer to show up. And at one point, one of these men went up to a worker at Starbucks and asked for the bathroom key to use the restroom. At that point, the employee denied access to the bathroom and told them that they needed to leave because they hadn't purchased anything. When the two refused to leave, this worker called 911.
I'm not kidding, called 911, which is supposed to be reserved for emergencies, but nonetheless, 6 police officers showed up because of course it takes 6 police officers to deal with the situation, and the two got arrested.
Now we're gonna show you the video, or at least a portion of the video that went viral. It's received up to 9 million views this morning alone. I'm sure at this point it's gone way past 9 million. But with that said, take a quick look.
What did they get called for? Because there were two black guys sitting here meeting me? Yes. Well, what did they do? What did they do? Someone told me what they did.
They didn't do anything. I saw the entire thing.
They didn't. What did they do?
Nothing. And the woman said it's for paying customers after us leave. They didn't do anything.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. It has been quite a week. It's been quite a week. Dante, you both walk in, you get a table. Rashawn, how long was it before you asked to use the restroom?
Immediately, as soon as I walked in. And she stated that they were for paying customers only, and I just left it at that moment.
And the response was, you have to buy something.
Yes.
Then you go and find Dante. You're at the table. What happened next?
We're at the table. We sit down. We're just talking amongst each other. She then comes from around the register, walks up to us, asks if she can help us with anything. Can we start with some drinks or water or something like that? For when we have bottles of water with us, so we're fine. We're just waiting for a meeting. We'll be out really quick, type thing.
What do you say to some people who say rules are rules, that Starbucks has a policy, you violated that policy. The police asked you repeatedly to leave and you didn't. How do you respond to people who say that?
What I say is I understand that. Rules are rules, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. I understand that. Rules are rules, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
Yup, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation. I walked into an inner city coffee shop, unshowered, unshaved, and demanded to use their bathroom without paying for anything. The store manager then walked up to me and asked if she could give me personalized service to get me something, like water or a stick of gum. I not only refused to buy anything, but told her I have no intention of buying anything, for however long I'm going to be there. I'm just going to use your table space, your Wi-Fi, your amenities, and you will get nothing. The store manager was probably shocked and intimidated by my appalling attitude and my homeless appearance. She called the police because I was indeed trespassing. When the police arrived, I argued with them for 7 minutes, refusing to leave or buy something. Finally, I was detained, but ultimately not charged with anything. I'm probably going to make at least $1 million off of this, and the diversity industry behind me will likely get a $50 to $200 million payoff. But we'll get to that part later.
And Starbucks, by the way, really quickly, Cenk, is known as a community hub. They're always advertising about their free Wi-Fi. They want people to come there and just hang out, which is why sometimes you can't even find a place to sit at Starbucks.
I believe loitering is their business model. I mean, they want people to come and hang out, and it was a unique business model when they started. People were like,
"Oh, you're crazy. If people aren't buying stuff, you should be kicking them out."
We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Now. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Now. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Now. What do we want? Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Martin King was a freedom fighter and he taught us how to fight. We gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. Say, which side are you on, my brother? Which side are you on? I'm on the freedom side. Which side are you on, my sister? Which side are you on? I'm on the moral side. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? I'm on the freedom side. Which side are you on? That we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we can win. I believe that we can win. Say, I believe that we will win. Say, I believe that we will win. We're here today to say that we have demands for both Starbucks Incorporated and the Philadelphia Police Department. Number one, we demand that Starbucks pay all of its employees a minimum of $15 an hour now. We demand that powers, leadership, and our national partners across the country in some 22 states, representing 2.2 million lay people and clergy, sit at the table with Starbucks leadership, the CEO, the COO, the board chair, to demand that they address their role in perpetuating and intensifying racism and gentrification, not just in Philadelphia, but across America. We demand that they sit and discuss with us their policies and procedures. We demand a meeting with power and the top police officials, including the commissioner, who somehow does not see a problem in what happened on Thursday, to discuss and to talk about the need to reassess their implicit bias training. Maybe a visit to the Holocaust Museum, an African American museum, is not enough. We demand an investment in black-owned franchises in African American communities, in Starbucks locations, not just with Magic Johnson in Los Angeles, but all throughout the United States.
So they say, is a root
theology looks like.
This is what theology looks like.
Come on, give yourselves a big hand.
I want to spread the news that if it feels it's a good getting used, oh, you just keep on using me until you use me up.
Yup, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation. My name is Sean Zevit, and I'm the lead rabbi for Mishkan Shalom. You're probably wondering what a rabbi of a Jewish synagogue is doing leading this African-American protest, so let me explain. See, this protest was organized by POWER. That's Philadelphians Organized to Witness, Empower, and Rebuild, which uses the pretext of being a non-profit interfaith coalition to operate as a political action committee that funnels soft dollars into local politics and either intimidates or manipulates city councilmen into enacting the political agenda of our financial sponsors. You won't see it on the news, but Jewish synagogues make up a full 20% of POWER's interfaith coalition members, and even though it nominally has a black president, the primary fundraisers and sources of funds are Jewish, as are most of the organizers. See, it's a 1-2 punch. Our black friends provide the muscle, and we provide the money. We pay them to instill fear in local politicians and corporate executive teams, and they extract money for the diversity industry, as well as pushing through our political and cultural agenda. But you'll learn all about that and more in the series to come.
Believe that can still happen, and Starbucks, we challenge you today to grab a hold of the same dream and build that kind of community around your Starbucks all over this country. We know that if we stand together, that we can force you to do what is the best thing you ever could do for your business and for yourself. Build a community that is really diverse. We know that if we stand together, that we can force you to do the best thing
for your business and for yourself.
The arrest of 2 black men at a Starbucks is sadly not at all surprising to a lot of African Americans. So many of us have these stories.
Of course, it all started last week when 2 black men, John T. Robinson and
days after the controversial arrest of 2 black men who were inside the
This is brand baggage for Starbucks, brand baggage that they will have to quickly overcome.
The company's CEO appearing on ABC on Monday.
I'll say the circumstances surrounding the incident and the outcome in our store on Thursday were reprehensible. They were wrong. And for that, I personally apologize to the 2 gentlemen that visited our store.
We know that we can force you,
I want to begin by offering a personal apology to the 2 gentlemen who were arrested in our store. What happened and the way that incident escalated and the outcome was nothing but reprehensible. And I'm sorry.
Philadelphia's police commissioner apologized today for his remarks following the arrest of 2 black men at Starbucks.
It is important to emphasize and underscore that these officers had legal standing to make this arrest. These officers did absolutely nothing wrong.
I'm here to discuss the unfortunate incident that has been in the news about this great city. An incident that I fully acknowledge that I played a significant role in making worse.
Starbucks will close its stores and corporate offices on May 29th for company-wide racial bias training. The announcement comes in response to public protests and calls to boycott Starbucks. Protesters are upset about the arrest of 2 black men at a Philadelphia store last week.
Joining me now to discuss the incident and how the company is handling it is Starbucks Executive Chairman, that's Howard Schultz.
I'm embarrassed, ashamed. I think what occurred was
reprehensible at every single level. I think I take it very personally, as everyone in our company does, and we're committed to making it right. The announcement we made yesterday about closing our stores, 8,000 stores closed, to do significant training with our people is just the beginning of what we will do to transform the way we do business and educate our people on unconscious bias.
And it will cost you millions of dollars, too.
It will cost millions of dollars.
I've heard the phrase racial bias training. What exactly does that mean?
We have an opportunity, with the help of Sherilyn Ifill from the NAACP and Brian Stevenson and Heather McGee, people who have been in this space for a long time, to help guide us, support us. This is not going to be a one-day event where we're going to do something and leave. We're going to stay with this. It's going to be significant. It's going to endure. Yesterday, I spent time with the white manager who did make the 911 call. And
is she still with the company?
No, she has left the company. Kevin has spent time with the two young men, and I think
Kevin Johnson, the Starbucks CEO.
Yes.
I would like to know more about the conversation with the manager yesterday. What did you say? What did she say? How is she feeling? Why did she make that call to the police?
Yeah, I think for her, she is suffering herself in her own way. I think she recognizes that perhaps that call should not have been made. I don't think she intended, when she made the call, for the police to arrive and arrest the two young men.
What did she think was going to happen?
I think she probably thought that the police were going to talk to the men about what they were doing and why they were there. And I think you have to say, in looking at the tape, that she demonstrated her own level of unconscious bias. And in looking at the tape, you ask yourself whether or not that, in fact, was racial profiling.
Yeah. Is there any doubt in your mind that the call would not have been made had there been two white men? And, you know, white customers in the store were saying, look, I've been sitting here. No one has said anything to me. The two black men, by the way, in their 20s, were there to meet a realtor to discuss a business deal.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt in my mind that the reason that they were called was because they were African American.
What, if anything, does the company plan to do for the two black men? I know Kevin Johnson, the CEO, has met with them. Have you all had any discussions about what, if anything, Starbucks should do, could do for these two young men?
What we have tried to do with the two young men, and Kevin has met with them, is ask them, what can Starbucks, given our resources and the capabilities we have, they have an interest in real estate, what can we do to help advise them and support their own business endeavors? And I think what will come out of this is that, given the resources that we do have, that we will provide them with a foundation of learning and provide them with an opportunity to be part of our company, either directly or indirectly, as a result of this situation.
This is the end of part 1 that I'm uploading tonight. We haven't even scratched the surface of how deep the rabbit hole goes. You're going to learn in the upcoming series the burning question that you're probably asking yourself after watching this series of events, which is, just how powerful is the diversity industry that it can force multinational corporations and mayors' offices of large metropolises to cower, to grovel, and to pay off any amount of money to make the problems go away. You're going to learn about the PICO network. You're going to learn about the role of George Soros in the Open Society. You're going to learn about the ADL and the role of Jewish federations in all of this. You're going to learn the role of interfaith coalitions and how they mobilize votes and therefore constitute an essential political pressure group of inner-city politics. You're going to learn about gentrification and how Starbucks fits into the turf war between Swipple whites and urban blacks. You're going to learn about Saul Alinsky and his role in the formation of groups like Power. You'll learn about the role of Eric Holder and the NAACP. You're going to learn about the NMSDC and the Diversity Supplier Program that nearly every large multinational company has to subscribe to. In short, in this series, you're going to learn about the vast national and translocal network of profit and non-profit companies, foundations, pressure groups, corporations, and academic departments, as well as full-time professionals whose job is to advance and promote the diversity industry. An industry that functions much like a conglomerated Clinton Global Initiative whose sole function is to control politics and money in America. Stay tuned.
You are your